there's sometimes things that can't wait for bureaucracy. They just have to be taken care of. So there's a few different facets as into why I think it was created. In addition to us having our own building code, right? Like, I don't think this is the case in the entire United States. I know it's the case in California. I know it's the case in Florida. And that's also an aspect where people get blindsided heavily. They come to Florida thinking that they're going to build. Like, I know sometimes people, like, in other states, they walk in and they walk out with a permit. I'm like, there's not even the easiest permit in Florida is that way. So
I've had one jurisdiction where they had literally one person in their entire building department.
Yeah.
And soon after we submitted our permit package, that person had been reassigned or removed from that position. So there was somebody, they were still trying to figure it out, and there was somebody temporarily that was covering for that. So it was an interesting process, but they were already contracted with another third party provider to do their, but still the routing, the fees, and all that had to be applied. There was just one person, and she tried her best, but it was a challenge to say the least.
I bet a hurricane of some sort had something to do with our statute, but that's just a guess. I wanted to kind of go back. I know, Alberto, you kind of earlier had mentioned something along the lines of this kind of being a premium option, right? Which I think I understand, but in my experience, the costs are somewhat comparable, right? Because now you're not paying the city those review fees, you're paying you guys those review fees. And while I think those review fees are a little bit more, generally speaking, than what the city would charge, in my experience, it's pretty comparable.
Yeah, I agree, and that's kind of been one of our biggest driving points. I think people still struggle with the sort of just seeing it the way you just brought it up, where they just see it like, oh, I'm just not used to having this additional $7,000 to $8,000, $10,000 expense. But yeah, I mean, part of the statute is that the building department cannot charge you for the services that they're no longer providing, and that helps to offset our cost. So particularly on the stuff that we done with you guys, the tenant improvement aspect, yeah, I think it's a tit for tat. You almost walk away even.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're undoubtedly getting just a much more effective service.
Right. Yeah, no, it's, for us kind of, and it is a little bit of an added cost, and increasingly so when you get into the ground up stuff versus the tenant improvement stuff. But for us, it's been a great option. We utilize it as much as we can, and the city still gets their fees, right? They still assess impact fees. They still get fees for review on the fire side, and they still have their piece, right? And speak to that a little bit. You guys, and you might have before, but you guys don't review or inspect on anything fire related. Is that right?
Correct. So no fire, and to kind of give, I guess, anybody listening the most accurate information, and the statute gets revised because sometimes it's a little vague, but the way it reads is that they have to give you discounts for the services that they're no longer providing, but they can charge you a reasonable administrative fee, because we still, like, our inspections reports still have to be submitted to the county for public record keeping. We still have to request a CO. So whatever kind of cost they incur from managing private providers, even though their workload is a lot less, they can still charge for. Like you mentioned, impact fees are still in there. And obviously, we do the structural and MEPs review, but other reviews like utilities or fire or natural resource protection or FEMA reviews, they can also bill for. Now, some of these things are intertwined, right? Like sometimes some of the components of life safety are intertwined with fire, and same thing with building and FEMA, from just like a building perspective. But yeah, they still, it's not like they're out of all the funds.
Right. Yeah.
So what are some other, actual, well,